Hey guys, back again with another trailer I'm looking at. This time I'm doing Shazam. Now, not only is this a trailer I actually have more pros to say about rather than cons, it's also a DC trailer who I've historically shit on, so hooray! Progress. So, now that I've done this 3 times now, I feel like this is actually kind of turning into its own kind of show that will eventually get a better set, I promise. Which means this show kind of needs a name. So for now, it's a working title, but for now, I'm calling it Very Right or Very Wrong. Cue title card here. Where, again, I'm just going to go over the newest trailers that are coming out, and I apologize, there's a fan next to me, if you're hearing buzzing, that's what it is. And I'm just going to do exactly what I've been doing. I'm going to go over the pros, I'm going to go over the cons, and we're just going to see how the trailer fares out overall and what it says about the future movie coming out. So today, like I said before, we're going to talk about Shazam, which is a trailer that premiered while I was at Comic-Con. And I don't think I really talked about much while I was there, at least I don't think so from the footage. I just spent a lot of chunk of time going through that none of you guys watched. But anyway, so yeah, today we're going to talk about Shazam. We're going to go over the pros, go over the cons, and like I said before, I actually have more pros on this one. So we're just going to jump right into it. Let's talk about the pros for the Shazam DC trailer.
AM to the PM, PM to the AM. Eat up your per diem, you just gotta hate them phone. If I quit your PM, I still rock Mercedes home. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.
Okay, so pro number 1, Zachary Levi as Shazam, I think is a great choice, and he's clearly having a lot of fun with the role. He does pair perfectly with the tone of this film, which I will get to in a second. But for now, I do just want to say the way he looks, with some trepidation about the costume. Again, I'll talk about that more in the cons section. Yeah, Zachary Levi, it just so encapsulates, like, kind of modern day Tom Hanks in Big, in that he does definitely act and feel like a kid who would just suddenly turn into an adult with superpowers, and you believe that just based on the brief period of time he's in this trailer. And he sells it excellently. Even just like the last trailer, which I still love that little moment when he realizes bulletproof is like, I'm bulletproof, you're dead. Like, he just suddenly thinks like, yeah, I'm a badass fucking superhero now. He just acts like he responds the way a kid would respond if he was suddenly given superpowers. Because that's what Shazam is, basically. I'm not horribly familiar with the character Shazam, but that's pretty much what he is, right? He's a wish fulfillment character. His whole thing is that he's a kid who just was chosen by this wizard to be this great superhero, and which means he can be an adult in an instant, and he has all these cool superpowers. He can take on Superman. He suddenly turns into all these powers and all things every kid wishes he had. That's Shazam in a nutshell, or Captain Marvel. You want to get serious about this? And that's that character. And Zachary Levi feels like he's owning that character. Yeah, Zachary Levi looks awesome. Next pro.
Sorry about your window, but you're welcome for not getting robbed. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm a superhero.
All right, pro number 2, the tone. The tone of this movie is definitely a far cry from what we've seen before with the other DC movies, which like Man of Steel, which I still don't hate that movie. I think it's okay. I don't think it's aged well necessarily, but I still think it's fine as it is. Batman vs Superman, which can suck my balls. Then we got Justice League, which I also hated, not as much as Batman vs Superman, but still pretty bad. Mostly because it was trying to play it more serious than these characters deserved. And that's a big thing that I like about this trailer. And I know I can already feel a lot of people bitching. It's like, oh, they're trying to make it like a Marvel movie. Like, no. I'm not saying WB definitely doesn't want to copy Marvel's success, but there is a very important fact of making a tone that's appropriate for the character on the screen. That was the problem with Batman vs Superman. Batman can do dark. Superman is not a dark character, so when you have Superman trying to be dark, that tone so clashes with the character that's present on screen. And before the Batman vs Superman people jumped down my throat, so I was like, well, but it's not that your father is Superman. Like, okay, it clearly is. The movie relies on your preconceived notions of who the character is and what he is not. So don't try that argument with me. You will lose. Great, now I've just challenged a bunch of people on the internet. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So the tone here is definitely a lot more fun. It plays on the wish fulfillment aspect of the character. It plays on the fact that, again, it's about a kid who gets superpowers. There's no reason this needs to be dark. It should be fun. And because it is fun, it feels like a breath of fresh air. It feels like it's what DC needs right now as far as these movies go. So I'm really happy they're going that direction. I'm glad it looks like they're trying, at the very least, to learn the lesson from the last few movies that tried the dark angle and it failed miserably. So yeah, I'm really happy to go see The Tone. Next pro.
Give these people a chance, because that's what they're giving you.
Okay, the other pro. Now, I like the direction they're taking Billy the Kid. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Shazam. I don't know a whole lot about Billy Batson, but I do know a little bit of the New 52 Shazam comics that this movie does borrow some influences from. But I like that they're borrowing the elements I think are interesting, with him being the orphan and him being part of a foster family, and him connecting with one of the other kids there, who I don't know the exact condition, but he walks around on crutches. I like that they're borrowing that and they're kind of building him as like the self-reliant kid who's still a good kid at heart, but still kind of has that rebellious side, or just has some serious trust issues. And that gives it a good place to go an arc. Now, the problem with the comics that the New 52 version did is it went too much again, it was trying to make it dark, it was trying to make it like super serious, and just from what I've read, Shazam as a character was insufferable. He was just an obnoxious, whiny fucking brat. I don't think anybody liked him. Not that I can remember anyway. I don't really know any fans of the New 52 Shazam comics. If you are, I'd like to know why. Honestly, I'd like not to like judge you or shame you or anything like that. I legitimately would like to know what you liked about it, because from what I read, it's like this character is just so obnoxious. He's annoying. I don't know why the Wizard would choose this fucking brat. It was dumb. And this movie looks like there's like, okay, how can we make this idea work? And that's what they're doing. So it looks like, again, he's still a foster kid. He's still like recently adopted this home. He's still a good kid at heart. He does want to help people, or at least he stands up for people, and that is why he's chosen by the Wizard. So like the trailer clearly shows that progression. It definitely leaves it open to expand on that. I'm curious to see where we're going with it. So it does its job very well as far as that goes.
They seem nice, but don't buy it. It gets real Game of Thrones around here. Dude, just messing around. You look at me and you're like, why so dark? You're a disabled foster kid. You've got it all.
The supporting cast. The supporting cast in the movie looks great. Again, I'm mostly judging on the foster brother that's in this trailer, because he's really good in this trailer. He definitely looks like a kid actor who knows what he's doing, which is always nice to see, because you always kind of roll the dice with kid actors. You never know when you're gonna get a good one. You never know it's gonna be as dull as dishwater. It's always a crapshoot. It's like, are you gonna get Stranger Things, or are you gonna get, I don't know, Superman Returns? I like that they're making the foster brother, like, he's the superhero fan, which leads to me another pro I'll get to in just a bit. Now that kind of reminds me of that. I like he's a superhero fan. It definitely gives him a way to connect with him when he does get the superpowers. I like how he and Zachary Levi really do talk like equals, and that's really cool to see. Again, they talk like all the kids kind of talk like kids, or at least how they would talk in this universe superheroes exist. Mark Strong, he's only in it for a brief second in the trailer, so there's not really a whole lot to say about him yet. Mark Strong is still like a reliably entertaining actor, and he usually does a pretty good bad guy, so I'm willing to bet he'll be fine here. I'm not including Sinestro. We don't talk about Sinestro. We don't talk about the Green Lantern movie. We're not gonna go there. Even that he was fine as Sinestro, just horribly written. But anywho, I actually do have one more pro before you go on to the cons, which is the connection to the other DC movies. Now this is actually something that they've done with this movie that I like. I like that it acknowledges that these characters exist, but doesn't feel need to jam it down your throat. At least I don't get that from the trailer. Maybe the actual movie will do way worse, but the trailer downplays it for now. Like you see, they talk about it like kids would, because of course they would, because they're actual fucking superheroes. You see that the kid has a Batarang, and all that kind of stuff, but it's definitely a movie that takes place in this universe, but it's definitely a separate entity from what we've seen before, which is good, and I like that they're going that direction. Again, I want the DC extended universe to work. They just gotta stop fucking up the movies. And this definitely looks like they're taking that direction of like, okay, let's focus on, this is something I think someone from DC actually recently said too, is like, okay, we're gonna focus on making one movie good before we start really building into world building. And this movie looks like it's actually trying to do that by like talking about superheroes in a way that kids in a school would in this world, but not like hammering home like, hey, Batman's here, there's Batman, there's Wonder Woman, there's Aquaman over there. They're not, from what I can tell, they're not doing that. At least if they are, this trailer downplays it, so that's a sign of hope from me. That, again, they're learning their lesson. I can dream, goddammit. So, yeah, that's all the pros I have. Let's talk about the cons. Okay, so I actually don't have that many cons in this movie. I'll get with the smaller stuff I have first. I get to the bigger concern I have with this movie towards the end, kind of the same way I did with the Venom trailer. So the first one I have for this movie, the look of the wizard, to me, it's not that it's bad. It's just kind of iffy to me in that they kind of chose to give him the gigantic lightning bolt in the center, which I don't know. It's not awful. It just feels kind of weird. And they also give him this really Gandalf-y staff. It's not necessarily as bad, because again, I guess it makes sense based on the context in the movie, but I don't know. It's not really a look that worked for me personally. I guess I'll just have to see more of it. Next con, the Shazam suit. Now, the Shazam suit as a direct adaptation from the comics is actually pretty good. That being said, I do have to, again, this is me being nitpicky. I am really being nitpicky here. I do have to give some credence to the padding of the actual suit, because, yeah, you can definitely tell they padded in the suit for Zachary Levi, who I know, like, he worked out a bunch for this movie, and I know there's only so much he was gonna be able to do, but it is definitely noticeable, and not distracting enough to make it, like, change my mind about the movie at all, but enough that it's kind of like, okay, yeah, that looks pretty fake. The rest of the suit, though, looks pretty good, to be fair. Like, as far as, like, a direct comic to movie translation, it's pretty good, and it works better than, quite frankly, it should. So, yeah, again, that's a super nitpick. That's a big nitpick. All right, and the big concern I have, unless another one comes to my mind, is the one concern I have based on what I've seen from the trailer. Again, I'm sure they'll expand this as they release more footage up to the movie's release. But the one thing that does concern me is based on what I've seen in the trailer, personality of Billy as the boy doesn't really match up with Billy as Shazam. Again, I'm based on this on the trailer. I'm not sure how much on the same page that the actor playing the kid version of Billy and Zachary Levi. I don't know if they're on the same page all the way, because again, Billy, as presented in this trailer, is very much like a reserved, kind of tough kid. He keeps to himself. He still tries to do the right thing, but he's definitely a street smarts kid. He knows the ups and downs of it, but he's still trying to be good, but he's also keeping his distance because he doesn't want to get hurt in the process until he does stand up for somebody, in which case he gets caught up on the wizard. Zachary Levi, as the adult, is definitely much more of the power fantasy character. He's the one that's kind of doing all the dance moves. He's making all the jokes. And the jokes are pretty good. The jokes are pretty funny. He's definitely riding the high of being a superhero. But again, I'm looking at those two characters again as the trailer has presented them, and they don't really match very well. And that could be a big problem when you get into the actual movie, because one way or another, like, again, the most important part about getting this character right is you have to present the wish fulfillment element. You have to, and to do that, you need to really believe that this is the same kid, just as an adult now. It has to be big with superpowers. That's what it has to be. And if you can keep that going, it could be a lot of fun. It could be great. It could be, like, honestly, like, right up there with Wonder Woman as, like, the best DC movie they've made so far in this universe. But, like, again, it is so important they get that element right, though, because if they don't, that's gonna fuck everything else up, and it's gonna be impossible for that not to be distracting. Yeah, honestly, that's it. Like, I'm kind of surprised that I don't have more to say on this one, but yeah, I'm honestly, like, this one, even more than the Aquaman, which if people want me to, I can talk about that one too. The trailer definitely caught my curiosity on this one. Definitely, I'm very curious to see where this is gonna go. I'm cautiously optimistic, because again, it is DC, it is Warner Brothers. They haven't exactly inspired faith up to this point. A lot of what they've been doing with the movies up to this point has been damage control. Again, with the exception of Wonder Woman, where they just set aside, made a single, that's a good point. Let's compare this to Wonder Woman real quick. Where, like, in Wonder Woman, the reason that movie succeeded is because it didn't feel need to jam itself into the larger DC extended universe. It told its own story with its own characters and its own arcs and themes, and it just focused on making that good. And if Shazam could do the same thing, then it might share that same level of success. It's not like there's not an audience for this kind of character. Again, we made Guardians of the Galaxy insanely popular. We can do the same thing for Shazam. It's not out of the question. It's just more a matter of, are they gonna learn their lessons from these previous movies and just focus on making one film good at a time? Or are they gonna do what they did with the previous movies, where just try to rush into like another Justice League movie or something like that? Although, given how badly that turned out, I kind of doubt they're gonna try that. That being said, I still don't have enough faith on them to just let them be either, because I've been keeping up with the Flash movie. I've been keeping up with that, how much of a train wreck that already is, and it hasn't even started pre-production yet. Or I guess it's like in pre-production technically. I mean, my point is they haven't started filming. Or even have a director or a writer. I mean, is it a Flashpoint movie or not? But I'm getting off topic. So yeah, I'm very curious about the Shazam movie. I'm very cautiously optimistic. I want it to be good. I think if they just focus on making the wish fulfillment fantasy come true and just basically keep it like big, but with Zachary Levi, I think it's gonna be great. I think it'll be a lot of fun, very funny, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's how Shazam would go very right. If you have a trailer you would like me to look at, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you guys in my next video, so take care.